Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of our SwaLife podcast series on innovation and technology. Today, we are diving into a topic that's transforming how medicines are discovered, how artificial intelligence identifies drug targets faster than traditional biology. With me is Dr. Praveen Vadhe, founder of SwaLife Biotech and a leading voice in AI-driven drug discovery and development. Dr. Praveen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Shruti. It's great to be here. This topic I deeply actually passionate about because AI is now accelerating the drug discovery, and what I think is that it is actually changing that how we think about biology itself. So thank you for inviting.
Yes. Yes. Let's start from the basics. Why has traditional drug target discovery been such a slow process, and where does artificial intelligence really make a difference?
That's very important starting point because traditional target discovery is very slow, mainly because it is linear and it is actually reductionist. So we usually begin with a single gene or protein, or looking at a specific pathway. So study actually is in isolation, where we are designing experiment, waiting for results, then publishing, and then move to the next step. So each step is actually depending on the previous one, which has to be finished successfully. So that alone can take years, and that's what is happening. That with the basic traditional drug discovery or target discovery, you are taking longer time.
So it's almost like solving a puzzle one piece at a time.
Yeah, exactly. And biology does not work one piece at a time. It works as a network. And when we look at AI, it is actually changing the workflow by shifting from one hypothesis at a time to thousands of hypotheses evaluating simultaneously. So when we look at the research, we are developing one hypothesis and we are testing it, and then based on those results, we were moving. But with the AI now, we can actually have thousands of hypotheses evaluating simultaneously. So instead of just testing one target experimentally. With the AI, you can analyze genes, protein, pathways, then disease association, and simultaneously the literature, which will be done at all at once. So fundamental change is moving from sequential biology to parallel intelligence. So that is what is happening due to AI.
So this part fascinates many students. How does artificial intelligence start with just a disease name and end up suggesting molecular targets without actually running lab experiments?
Okay, so that's actually a great question here because it sounds almost magical, but it actually is very logical. With AI, start with a disease, let's say, for example, cancer, diabetes, or any neurological disease, and then connect the multiple layers of the existence knowledge. So the existing knowledge is already there, due to which, with the help of AI, you can connect the layers. So first, it look at which genes are associated with the disease, and then across database and also across with the different studies, you can connect them. Then it asks that how does these genes interact with the different pathways or diseases, then which pathways are actually disturbed, and which protein act as a control point or hubs. So that's how actually it is playing important role when we are looking at role of AI using just a disease name.
So it's connecting dots that actually already exist, right?
Exactly. AI does not actually invent biology. It connect the biology at scale. So it also mines like thousands of research paper to detect the pattern that are already there in humans. So simply cannot be proceed by manually. So by the end, AI can move from disease pathways, network hub, and then priority targets. So all before a single experiment is actually done. So that's what AI is doing. It is connecting the biology at the scale.
Right. A common concern is if there is no experimental validation yet, how do we trust artificial intelligence identified targets?
Okay, so that's very, I will say, healthy concern, and the answer is very simple. AI builds confidence when independent signal point to the same targets are being linked. So, for example, if you take a gene which is repeatedly associated with the disease, it shows that actually it is developing the confidence because that gene is actually associating with that disease. It also helps to show that if that gene is sitting in a central point in the protein interaction network, also it appears in key disease pathways. And also if we have seen multiple studies mentioning it in different contexts. So one gene is being reported in many diseases, network pathways, then disease pathways, and also in different diseases actually give us a signal, and that signal actually help to increase the confidence when we are actually looking at that gene or protein.
So, artificial intelligence confidence is more about patterns than about proof.
Exactly. So AI actually does not replace the experimental proof. It tells you where proof is most likely to be found. So think of it as a highly intelligent prioritizing engine, which can be utilized before actually starting the experiment.
So, you often talk about network pharmacology and herbal drug discovery. Why is artificial intelligence particularly powerful in these areas?
Because most real diseases are not single target problems. So if you take example of cancer, metabolic disorders, inflammation, these are network diseases involving multiple pathways and feedback loop. With herbal or natural formulation, they work because they actually hit multiple target, act gently but broadly, and restore balance rather than blocking one protein. So that's how the herbal work. And network pharmacology help us to connect all these with multiple target, multiple molecules. And due to that, I think the network pharmacology is actually connecting with AI and developing the herbal drug discovery.
And the conventional or traditional drug discovery methods actually struggle with all these, right?
Yes, that's right. Because actually traditional method prefer simplicity. So in traditional one, what happens? One target, one drug. But with AI, on the other hand, is going to naturally design for showing many to many relation. Then it is also helping to detect the synergetic detections, and also it is doing a pathway level reasoning. And that's why AI fit perfectly with the multi-target and in the herbal drug discovery.
Artificial intelligence sounds powerful, but where should researchers be very careful? In which areas?
Yeah, that's actually a important point. AI must be used responsibly. Researchers should be precaution about data bias. That is one of the major, the backbone of the AI. Then confusing relation with caution. So you need to make sure that you shouldn't actually be confused with a correlation, and blindly trusting scoring or ranking. So AI outputs depend on data quality. If the data is incomplete or if it's biased, results can be misleading. So there is actually a golden rule which any scientist or researcher who is working with AI should follow. That is, AI guides decision. It does not replace scientific judgment. So validation, biological reasoning, and study design still matter deeply. So it is very important to understand this.
So now, if we want to bring this in practice, tell us about how does the SwaLife AI Discovery and Study Design Studio actually helps researchers to work faster.
Okay, as I mentioned that actually AI guides in decision. Our goal was to turn AI from a concept into a working research companion. So the platform that we have developed actually help the researcher to start with a disease. You give the disease to the platform, and it is going to help you to identify and rank the targets. It is also help you to understand biological justification, and it is going to direct you to the plan of study. So instead of spending weeks, I will not say weeks, it's like months on manually literature mining and analyzing, researcher get actually actionable insights in hours or in a day. So with this, we can actually, mostly bridge a gap where AI discovery can help you to do the experimental planning. And with the experiment planning, you can actually translate that into the relevant experiment. So there where the actually the speed and the confidence come together, and then experimental planning can be done. So the relevant research can be done instead of just trying different experiment, and once the results are positive, then moving on. You can get the speed and confidence by using our AI discovery studios.
So as we come towards the end, what is one advice you would like to give today?
So when we look at the future researchers is a system thinkers. You don't need to be a data scientist or programmer like in overnight, but you must learn how to interpret the networks which are going to be created due to AI driven discoveries. Then you need to ask better scientific question. There where the scientific prompting comes, it helps you to make sure that the relevant information can be isolated. And how to work with AI tool, but intelligent. So the most valuable skill is not running more experiment, it's deciding which experiment matter most. So most of the time when we are doing research, we actually try to increase the numbers of experiment to get the relevant data. But instead of that, if you decide which experiment matter most to get that data, it is going to be helpful. And AI helps with that decision. So it is important that if you actually work with AI tool intelligently, you are going to develop the skills which will help in deciding which experiment matter most. Now, these actually create a lot of areas which are important when we look at the AI in scientific prompting, AI in regulatory affairs, AI in pharmacovigilance, and AI in the clinical data management. So this is where you need to focus on.
Thank you so much. It was incredibly insightful. And thank you so much for breaking down such a complex topic so clearly.
Thank you, Shruti. It was pleasure. And to everyone listening, AI is not the future of drug discovery. AI is the present.
Yes. And with that, we wrap up today's episode. Everyone, if you enjoyed this conversation, follow us for more discussions on artificial intelligence, drug discovery, and translational science. Until next time, keep learning and keep questioning.
Thank you.